Welcome to the AI4EU Cafe. Today we have a great session. It's called AI4EU Open Call for Challenges. Learn how to get 70,000 euro and discover AI4EU challenges in health, manufacturing, and agri-food. My name is Carmen McWilliams. I am the director of Grassroots Arts and partner in the European AI4EU project. And I'm very happy to welcome today Ursula Zobeck from the Funding Box. Hello, Ursula. And she brought many guests, these guest speakers who will then introduce their challenges. And you already see many of them around me. There are even more. So it will be a very exciting cafe today. I'm very happy you're all there. So welcome each of you all the attendants, all the speakers, and later Ursula will introduce each speaker after the other. But now we jump into the cafe as we have only 1 hour and you will have probably a lot of questions afterwards. So after the presentations, there is a question and answer session. Please use your chance, write in your questions on the right side. There's a panel, write in these questions. And these questions we will answer after the presentations. So use your chance, it's interactive. And before we start, there are rules. Please take notice that the session will be recorded so you can see it later on YouTube. No confidential information shall be shared in this cafe session. In this cafe, the speakers express their personal view and opinions. This is not necessarily the official AI4EU project opinion. So, and this AI4EU cafe is each week, sometimes even more than once. This week, for example, twice, and it's an online forum to gain insight in the European AI scene. So now to my first and main speaker, Ursula. Hello, Ursula.
Hello. Thank you, Carmen.
Ursula Zobeck is the project manager at Funding Box Accelerator. She has a Master of Economy by University of Information Technology and Management in Resesov, the Faculty of European Study. Since 2004, she has been involved in innovation, IT, research and development, and startup-related projects on national and international scale, obtaining over 30 million euros for external clients. Currently, she works as project manager in the AI4EU project. So now I hand over to you, Ursula.
Thank you, Carmen.
So 1 moment, 1 second. Yes, now you are the main speaker.
Okay.
Again, everybody welcome. We have already more than 120 attendees, so and they're coming in. So each of you who are coming late, welcome today. And now to you, Ursula.
Okay, I hope that you can see my screen, right?
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, Carmen. I'm Ursula Zobeck from Funding Box. In AI4EU project, we are responsible for the open calls and FSTP management. Today, we would like to speak about call for solution. But to let you some information about the general overview of open calls, I would like to remind you that our call strategy is based on challenges, which means that in the heart of the process are challenges. So first, we are looking for challenges, and then we try to find solution to those challenges. At the end, both challenge owner and solution providers will be working together under our support program to find solution to a challenge. To do this, we designed 2 types of calls. So call for challenges to identify and define particular problems that can be solved by AI. And then call for solution, this call that is the topic of today, to develop technical solutions that address one of the challenges. So basically, call for solution is dedicated to solution providers who would like to address and solve one of AI challenges. What kind of project we are looking for? We are looking for AI-based solution that help us to solve AI challenges. To do this, you can create your own components, or you can use AI resources available on AI4EU platform. Who can apply? All type of technology providers, so startups, SMEs, mid-caps, large companies, and also research organizations. Challenge solution providers will be working together with challenge owners under support program for 6 months to develop solution to the challenge. What kind of support AI4EU is offering for you? Basically, financial support. You can receive up to 70,000 euro to collaborate with challenge owners. We are also offering support under 6-month support program. This program will include training on AI4EU platform, resources, accumulates, and publication process. You can also get mentoring support. It will be business and technical mentoring, and visibility throughout AI4EU digital channels and events as AI4EU ambassadors. How to reach funding and be selected. So you need to meet eligible criteria. So here you can see our eligibility criteria. First is type of beneficiaries. You should be one of European industry technology providers. As I mentioned before, you can be startup, SMEs, mid-caps, or large companies, or research organization. You should be registered in one of EU member states or associate countries, or in United Kingdom. Your application should be submitted in English and using our online system. And you should submit your application before the deadline, which is on April 29. You also shouldn't have any conflict of interest with AI4EU partners. What is important, your first version of solution must be published on AI4EU platform. How to do it, I will speak about it a little bit later. Here you can see the scoring criteria. Your proposal will be evaluated by 3 independent experts based on 3 blocks of criteria. First, excellence, second, impact, and third, implementation. Under excellence, experts will evaluate how your solution will contribute to solving a specific challenge, how innovative is your solution within the market, what's about your approach to solving the challenge, and how your solution will contribute to integration of different actors on the market. Under impact section, we'll check what is the market potential of your solution, that your idea is disruptive and can break the market, what is the degree of competition to your project, to your product, what are the commercial strategy, and how your solution contribute to creating new jobs. Under implementation, we will check your team. Is your team balanced and well-skilled? And do you have enough resources to solve the challenge? Or if you have capability to reach out a critical mass of end users at the end of the process. As I mentioned before, there's some technical requirements regarding publication on AI4EU platform. Your draft solution should be published on the platform during the application phase. Also, at the end of the program, you will be asked to publish your final solution on the platform. So please remember when you're applying, publish your solution. There's 2 options. You can publish in AI4EU through experiments catalog or in AI catalog on the main page. What are the difference? So under AI4EU experiments, you should choose Docker container format to publish your solution. To go through this quite complex process, we created video tutorials, and we also publish instruction. You can follow this instruction in frequently asked question documents on our website. You can also choose AI catalog, on main page of AI4EU platform, where you can find different options to publish your solution. You can publish your solution as a textual description, or choose between other type of formats. When you can apply, the deadline is in April, 29 April at 1 o'clock. And here I'm pretty sure that you are keen on to learn about our challenges. So far we selected 7 challenges in health, pharma, manufacturing, and agri-food sector. and more challenges will be published soon. To learn about challenges, please visit AI4EU website or OpenCo website. I will paste the link to the chat. So now I would like to introduce and invite my speakers, challenge owners. First, I would like to give a floor to Alberto from Igatel. So Alberto, the floor is yours.
I gave it to him. So Alberto.
Okay, thank you, Ursula. Thank you, Carmen, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for this all the participants for in this cafe session. My name is Alberto Ferrero from Egatel. I'm in charge of business sales at Egatel, and I'm going to make a brief presentation of our AI4EU challenge. I'm going to share my screen. Just a moment, please. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to make a brief presentation of our challenge that aims to optimize the management of our stock of materials by using a smart procurement strategy. So then let's get started. So first, a very quick note of the company. Egatel, we are a Spanish company. We are a manufacturer of electronic products. We have two main business units. Broadcast, we develop and manufacture digital transmitters for television broadcasting, and Satcom. We design and manufacture antennas and user terminals for satellite communications. So now a short introduction to the challenge. As a manufacturer of electronic products, we have to organize on a regular basis a purchase board in order to launch the procurement of a certain stock of raw materials and electronic components that are required to build our final products. For that purpose, we use an MRP to determine our purchasing needs. Our system is based on the procurement of electronic components and materials that arise due to production needs, forecast sales, or out of stock. And the issue that we have is there are no software tools available on the market that can fully meet all our requirements. So this leads to the present challenge. The stock management in our case is quite a complex task, as it involves a lot of variables such as past sales and forecasts. And we also have hundreds of different component references of our products. And for the purchase decision, we must consider also the variability of components prices for an optimal cash flow management. So with this challenge, we are present to solve two different problems. First, for the purchase decision, our ERP uses the average price of the components, and this depends on the last purchases. But this average price is different from the price of the component, of the real price of the components that we have for a particular production order. So we are searching for a tool that better approximates the real procurement cost of the components and the final cost estimate of our products. And second, apart from the appropriate purchasing cost, we are also seeking an algorithm that calculates the optimal number of certain items that must be procured to have in stock for a better purchasing management. And finally, what are we expecting from this challenge? We expect an AI tool that is capable to plan the procurement of raw materials and electronic components according to the available information, and to solve the challenge that we are raising is key for EGATEL in order to improve our business competitiveness, our cost system, and for the optimization of our purchasing department. And as a final note, just to mention that the data to be used for the development of this AI tool will be extracted from our ERP. And we have a lot of information available, such as the status of stock, purchase forecast, production needs, all the purchasing data or production forecast. And that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Alberto. Thank you for presenting your challenge. And now I would like to ask Pythagoras to present the challenge titled Effective Management of EEE for Agrifood Data. So Pythagoras, the floor is yours.
Yes, I give it now. One moment. I have to just a moment there. It's like, and yes, yeah. So yes, now you should be capable.
Okay, just a moment to share my screen. Okay, so can you see my screen?
We see your screen, yes. Guardian AI4EU.
Okay, yeah. So our challenge is called Effective Management of Personally Identifiable Information, PII, for Agrifood data. And it's about the discovery of PII issues along with the management of the corresponding data so as to anonymize them, but in a way to preserve value. To understand better the context, first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Pythagoras Karapiperis. I'm the CEO of a company named Servo, located in Athens, Greece. And we are responsible for developing Guardian, a system that unifies information across all the different repositories from an organization called CGIAR. CGIAR is a global partnership of international research centers engaged in research about food security. And the data, the publications and the data that we're referring to are data that come from many different subdisciplines, including agronomy, including microbiology, modeling, climate modeling, livestock science, and so on. So on the problem that we face is since we are referring to scientific data, it is very important that these data, along with corresponding publications, are open. And for this, CGIAR has also, during the last decade, has adopted an open data policy, promoting the opening of data in their researches. The problem that we face is that this data should not contain any personal identifiable information, such as vessel IDs if we are talking about fisheries, or geographies, geolocations, for example, that someone can track down the farm and the owners of the farm and infer things that have to do, for example, with their income. And it's not an issue only to detect if and where such information exists. It's an issue of preserving the value of the data sets. Because if we have a data set, for example, that contains geolocations, most probably geolocations are used there so as to be able to link field trial data, measurements that have to do with crop, with yields, or with pests and treatment, with the microclimate or the weather of that specific field. So it's an issue when you try to anonymize data. What techniques should be used in order to not lessen the value of the data and the ability to replicate the scientific experiments or the ability to verify the scientific results. It is worthy to say that in Guardian is an open system, so we provide APIs for accessing all the publications and all the data sets across the CGR centers. We are talking about, this is a pool of resources that continuously is updated. The publications that we have harvested so far are about 200,000, and we are referring to data sets that are about 40,000. And the problems that we have found there deal with different modalities. So you can find PAI issues that have to do with geographies and such as I said, in tabular data, in CSV files, in Excel files. We have identified manually some cases where although the data were fine, they did not contain any traceable information. The publications contain some pictures from the field trials, and there we had the faces of the farmers. So you can find many different cases because of the fact that when researchers are actually performing their experiments, they are writing papers, they are curating their data sets, they do not think of PII issues. However, for the centers, these issues are important, and they want a solution in their hands that do not harm what the researchers trying to publish, trying to produce.
Thank you, Pythagoras. Thank you for your presentation. We need to pass the floor to our another speaker. So now I would like to invite Benoit and Philippe Cole from Liège, from General Hospital University in Liège, to present their challenge. So welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good afternoon from the University Hospital here in Liège, Belgium. I hope everybody is doing well despite the crisis. So we would like to briefly present a challenge called Enhancing Clinical AI Workflow. So briefly, we are, as I said, a university hospital. We have about 1,100 beds, 1,100 beds located in Liège, which is the French-speaking part of Belgium, Wallonia. For those who know Belgium, we are the only actually academic hospital in Wallonia. The other academic hospital in Belgium are in Flanders or Brussels. We have about 6,000 employees, including 1,000 doctors, and we accumulate about 42,000 patient admission per year. So having said that, we believe there are a growing number of offers and opportunities for AI-based solutions to help clinicians treat our patient, both on a diagnostic and a therapeutic level, to orient solution for specific use case, and also it creates de-harmonized data management between the different departments, because various departments use various software. Obviously, those software communicate between themselves, and there is some form of interoperability. So the challenge is really the development of a clinical decision support system. For those of you who are familiar with EMR maturity system, that's called CDSS, Clinical Decision Support System. And so the challenge aims at data harmonization and interoperability through an operational workflow, integrated the data warehouse processes. We already have a very large data warehouse that is fed through various data, clinical data, billing data, administrative data, medical imaging, laboratory. All these data exist and are already analyzed in the data warehouse, but this is not, let's say, an immediate process. And the second objective, beside integration of data warehouse processes, is to generate intelligent processes to optimize diagnostic and therapeutic outcomes. And so the expected demonstration would be how can AI, artificial intelligence, using both structured and non-structured data from different sources, meaning different software, help the clinician in making diagnostic and therapeutic clinical decision. So really, we are talking here about helping the clinician who is at the patient bedside. Both myself and my colleague here, Julien, are physicians, beside being involved in the IT of the hospital quite strongly. It's really that we need help in the process of clinical decision making using various data. So the available data sets would be both administrative data and, as I say, clinical data. Clinical data from the EMR and also from the imaging department, including nuclear medicine, pathology data, laboratory data, so all patient personalized data. And at the same time, the idea would be to use recommendation that are provided in guidelines, for example, guidelines from the European Society of Cardiology or Respiratory Medicine or American Heart or whatever, depending upon the pathway or the medical specialties that will be used for the case-based demonstration. So recommendation that are developed using cohort studies and randomized control trial. So here, that would be a match between guidelines that are public, that are published, and personalized data at the patient level. So that's basically the challenge, as very summarized.
Thank you very much for this brief, exciting summary. And now I would like to invite Andres from Lifeline Robotics to present the challenge.
Yes, hand it over. Perfect.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so Lifeline Robotics is a company that was founded in response to the current pandemic, and we've developed a robot that can perform a throat swab automatically instead of patients. So my name is Andreas Lyder. I'm the technical product owner of Lifeline Robotics. So the current some of the problems in performing the throat swab manually is that the frontline healthcare workers have a very high rate of infection due to the exposure that they are currently in. So they also have, you know, their working environment is currently very labor intensive, and you know, from doing a lot of monitors procedures every day can result in variability and a low sample quality. So you can say that the PCR analysis that is done afterwards is very dependent on the quality of the swab that was taken. Also, there are areas in globally where the access to testing is difficult, remote areas on islands and stuff like that. So we have developed Servo, which is the first robot able to perform a throat swab procedure, basically right now we have a pandemic which is on COVID-19, but the throat swabs can be used to monitor up to 29 diseases. So this can also be used on beyond this pandemic and used to, for example, cover analyze the effects of the influenza viruses that mutate every year normally as well. And we also see that we will probably, to be able to reopen our society, we need to have some equipment that can perform this testing as we move around globally. So the challenge we have so far is that we are basically, the way that it works is that we look inside of the throat using a time-of-flight camera, which produces an image. And we are moving towards a approach where we, as two-step approach, where we first localize the mouth and cut out this image and use this image for the image segmentation, which the robot uses to find the areas to perform the swab. So this challenge is focused on the first part, localizing the mouth and cutting it out from the image, also to anonymize the image for data managing. So this may seem fairly straightforward for an AI specialist, but the real challenge is in how we do that, so that we comply with the medical device regulation, and in which we need to evaluate the probability of the error that may occur, which can be very difficult in an AI perspective, and we need to reduce the risk of the patient. So error is allowed as long as we of course detect that an error occurs, so that we don't induce risk, or we minimize the risk for the patient that the swab. The real big difference here is that we are using this image data and these AI decision making to take a decision on how we use the robot. So the actual risk of identifying something in an image, so even though that we identify something in an image, it may not actually be a mouth, It could be that the software thinks it's a mouth, but it may not be. So we need to evaluate that probability of error. That was it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. And we stay in the same health area. And now I would like to invite Miklos from Amadix to present their challenge. We can't hear. Yes, now it's okay.
I'm now making you the presenter. One moment. Okay. Yes, Miklos.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So welcome everybody. My name is Miklos Gabriel-Tulic. I'm a data scientist at Amadix. Oh, something happened. Can you see my screen?
I see your screen. Perfect.
Okay. And just okay. So a few words about the company. Amadix aims to detect cancer in an early stage based on liquid biopsy. So the goal here is to detect cancer before any symptoms that occur to expand people's lives. The company is quite active. We are present in 6 countries. We have an international team. We have 7 patents and we have 5 publications so far. We are collaborating with over 30 hospitals. Amadix has participated in some challenges and some competitions with success. Robotics was participating in several competitions, from which was the winner of South Summit in 2018, with being the most disruptive startup, and also European Business Award in 2019 from Wants to Watch list. Amadix has 3 main projects, from which one of them is ColoFast, that aims the early recognition of colorectal cancer. The second one is Diagnolung, that aims the recognition of lung cancer. And the third one is aiming at the recognition of pancreatic cancer. So colorectal cancer is in the detection of colorectal cancer is in the most advanced stage. Now it's in the clinical validation stage. So a few words about colorectal cancer in general. Like 1 in 20 people have colorectal cancer in some point of their life. 1.8 million annual new colorectal cancer diagnoses are annually. Colorectal cancer has a 50% of mortality rate, and most of the patients are diagnosed in late stages of colorectal cancer. So Amadix has a blood-based screening test for colorectal cancer, and it's based on modern techniques such as gene signature of microRNAs and proteins. And basically in this challenge, or in the future, we want to combine this molecular data with the analysis of patients' medical health records. So the goal here is that we would need a natural language processing tool that can automatically predict ICD-10 codes from free text data. So as you can see in this example, we have an electronic medical health record, and we have some text in the medical health record. It's very unstructured and can have a lot of different information in it. And we want a tool that can generate ICD codes depending on the data. So the data can come in various forms. It can be scanned PDFs or machine-generated PDFs, or even CSV files. The goal is to generate labels ICD codes that can be used for statistical analyzing the data, or even for machine learning purposes as categorical features. So basically, the idea is to combine the molecular features that we have from the microRNAs and the proteins, and combine them with these ICD-10 codes, categorical features, or some other form. And in this way, we can improve colorectal cancer prediction algorithm, or even identify new high-risk populations in the data based on the medical records. So this can not only be used for the detection of colorectal cancer, but also in other areas, other cancer types as well. So this is all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for a great presentation, Miklo. And now we stay in close market in pharmaceutical sector, and I would like to ask Aytun Onay to present the challenge.
Yes, thank you.
I make you the presenter. Yes, perfect.
Okay. My name is Aytun Onay from ACD. ACD works on electronics, software developments, and IoT platforms and AI algorithms developments. Today, I will talk about modeling of drugs via deep learning neural network. Virtual screening of candidate drug molecules using artificial intelligence plays a key role in pharmacological industry to design and discovery of new drugs. You can find all drug data sets from internet, free drug bank, CAC drug database, and PubChem database. These databases, including full drug structures in CDF format, for example, approved drugs and withdraw drugs, and CAC drug database has anatomical, therapeutic, chemical classification of drugs. It has for drugs for disease groups like blood and blood-forming organs and cardiovascular systems, nervous systems drugs, for example. Corino-Santoni program from molecular networks was applied to our drug datasets. It converted the drug datasets in CDF format and transformed chemical information into a useful number or the result of some standardized experiment for each drug molecules. The toxprint chemotypes, including over 700 predefined chemotypes, for example, molecular descriptors and global molecular descriptors, size and shape, and toxprint chemotype descriptors. We want to AI4EU support to develop a strong filter model for drug candidate molecules to distinguish approved drugs from withdrawn ones. And the expected deliverable is a filter model for drug candidate molecules. The developed models with deep learning neural networks should also determine drug types, approve or withdraw drugs for according to the disease groups. The disease groups are such as cardiovascular system drugs, nervous system drugs, sensor organ drugs. Drug withdrawals generally are related with safety problems such as serious side effects and deaths. So we want the model to determine withdrawal and approval drug status of the drug molecules in the future. Then the model can be used in the future and can be used to discover new drugs for COVID-19 quickly and effectively. There are some key questions for our challenge that waiting for solving, such as how to develop such a model performing deep neural network algorithms using all draw approved and withdraw drugs in the drug databases. Another question is that what are the distinguishes patterns of the withdrawn drugs and how these distinctive characteristics are modeled with AI algorithms for the drug candidate molecules. Thank you for attending.
Thank you for your presentation. And last but not least presenter is Umang Maradia. So Umang, you can open your camera if you are with us. And I would like to invite you to present your challenge, reinforcement learning-based machine tool control.
Yes.
Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, it should work.
It works. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So our challenge is reinforcement learning-based machine tool control. First, a short info on our company. We are Georg Fischer, based in Switzerland. Our division is GF Machining Solutions. We are present in more than 50 countries with 8 production plants around the world. Basically, we make machine tools, automation solutions, and services for production of molds, dies, and high value-added metal parts. The main market segments that we serve are aerospace, ICT, automotive, medical, electronics, and energy through different kinds of machine tools, namely milling, EDM, laser additive manufacturing, laser micromachining, spindles, robotic solutions, and digital solutions. So today we will focus on our EDM technology portfolio and the challenge that we defined within. So before we start, I would like to show what EDM is. So EDM technology is used to make most of the consumer products and also some industrial products. Basically, any plastic part that you see usually needs a mold. This mold machining is typically done using milling and EDM machines. So what is EDM? EDM basically when you put two metallic plates together and apply voltage, you create a spark. And when you create a spark, you remove some material from a plate. And when you apply this multiple times, then you remove the material in the shape which is desired. So this is a very basic explanation. And very important is to control the gap between the two metallic plates. The main challenges are EDM is a stochastic process, so you cannot really control where the sparks or the discharges are happening, and thus the control of the gap is quite difficult, and also the modeling of the process itself. So this is our challenge. The challenge is the servo control in the EDM process. So to control these two parts, so the tool and the piece within certain gap. So this is why we believe that the reinforcement learning technique could be quite useful, because when we are too close to the between the plates, then it's not optimal condition. If we are too far, it's also not optimal. So we want to stay within a optimal gap distance. So basically it's a control problem. So we have to regulate the depth or the gap between these two plates. And this is a very simple algorithm would be to detect indirectly, since we cannot use direct gap sensors indirectly through electrical signals, to try to regulate this gap with different control algorithms. So today we have many different control algorithms which are static, where we use the typical PD, PID control. But however, it can become quite complicated. So the process is from seconds level to millisecond level to microsecond level to each spark is at the nanosecond level. So the control has to be dynamic. We have a lot of signals that we can use to indirectly determine the gap conditions that we want to stay in, and we can then try to optimize as a reward policy to maximize the number of good discharges. So this is all from my side. I hope I was able to explain our challenge.
Thank you, Umang. And that was last presentation of our challenge. To learn more, you can use AI4EU webpage. There's also chat discussion dedicated to discuss the challenge. So if you will have any question, you can go there also, or you can ask us now.
Yes. I want to say, Ursula, that not everybody can be in the picture. It's like the ones who are not answering a question shall maybe go away. It's not in GoToWebinar. There's a limited number of speakers and cameras. So just if you feel like answering the question, come back. And if you're not in the moment asked, then you can also put off your camera. So I will now answer. Read you the questions, and I start. One moment. So I start with, one moment. Please explain how the applicants can provide a draft model without having all the sample data.
Okay, you can provide the description of your idea of your solution using AI catalog. And then you have ability to publish only a description, only text, and this could be a solution.
Okay. So, Marcus, can a spin-off company of a university that is an AI4EU partner participate as solution provider?
No, AI4EU partner or affiliated organization cannot participate in this call.
Okay, so next question, Zia Ush Samajaman. I am in UK, in England. Can I collaborate with an institution outside of Europe and UK?
To submit the challenge, to submit a solution to address the challenge, you should be a single applicant. So it's not for consortium, it's for one single applicant. So if you are based in UK, you can participate in the call. And to solve this solution, you can collaborate with any type of organization, but the funding will go to you as an applicant.
Okay. Next question. Loris Robeda. Hi, I'm Loris from IDSIA. Is there any preferred submission format, like between Docker or textual?
No, it's only one requirement. If you decided to publish in AI4EU experiments in Akuma's catalog, then you must choose a Docker container format. But if you decided to publish in AI catalog, you can choose any type of available format.
Okay. So next question. When you say publish solutions, does this mean they are open?
No, when publishing, you also include information about the license. So when publishing in AI4EU experiments, you can choose the type of license. So it not means that the solution is publicly available for anybody.
Okay. So yes, comes basically Matus Zimmermann. Hi all, thank you for organizing this cafe. Are you planning to share the slides as well as those underlying materials with challenge definitions? Are you want to share the slides?
My slides will be shared for sure, and it's up to change owners if they would like to share the slide. If yes, I think that Carmen, you can distribute the slide after the webcast.
And also, everybody, there is a recording, right? I will send you the recording after this cafe to Ursula and all the speakers. And if you agree, we will publish it afterwards on the YouTube AI4EU channel. So very important. I send it to you, Ursula. No? So.
Okay.
And now, next question. Question for Egatel. So Igatel is Alberto. Question for Alberto. First of all, is it possible to share at least a part of the data with applicants? If yes, where can I find it? Besides, can you explain data more? What does the column purchase forecast mean? Is it purchase forecast for the end product by the end users? So this is a long question. Alberto, did you hear it?
Sorry, could you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
Yes, Alberto. First of all, is it possible to share at least a part of the data with applicants? Can you share the data?
Yes, I think it's possible, but we have a lot of information, but the data is not, the data set is not very clean to start work with this data. We have a lot of information regarding the purchase data, for example, for each item with we have quantities, prices for each warehouse, and statuses of stock. We have item code descriptions, physical storage location of every item, but this information is not very clean. Maybe my colleagues Silvestre or Antonio Loureiro that are present in this session can add some further information. I don't know if they are in line.
No.
No.
No, they're not online, not as panelists. So they are muted. So they can.
Sorry.
They didn't come in.
I hope this can clear up the question for.
Okay.
If not, please send the email message to me or to our help desk, and we pass this email to the right person in Igatel.
Okay. Thank you.
And now comes a general question again by Alessio Benavoli. Hi, I have a general question. Can we ask the companies to share their data before, the key is here, before the submission of our solution?
It depends on the challenge owner. Some data sets are publicly available, like in case of medical or pharmaceutical challenge. Some is owned by challenge owners. It depends on each challenge owners if they want to share the data before. But technically, it's possible, but it's not requirements of the code.
Okay. Yes, and I have another question. So here comes to the agriculture case, to Pythagoras. For Pythagoras. Do you expect already in demonstration submitted in application phase to see all 3 points you stated in your presentation? First, detect personal information in structured and unstructured data. Second, propose the user the best way to anonymize the data. Third, learn from user choices how to handle personal information. Or are those points should be achieved in the end when solution is developed?
Our expectations for the proposals is to tackle at least the first 2 points: the detection of PII issues, along with some proposals for anonymization depending on the case. The third item is more challenging, and it's a good to have for that part some ideas. We don't expect in the duration of the challenge to have a full-fledged solution for that. However, if some groups provide ideas on how to tackle that, we will be more than happy to hear them and see them.
Okay, thank you. So, and now we're coming, it's 4 o'clock. There are more questions than we can answer, and I know that some of you have to leave. So I would say 1 or 2, Ursula? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So how will the IP rights of the delivered solution be managed? This is Gregoris Soumakas.
Okay, so general rule is that IP belongs to a party which produces them. And in the sub-grant agreement templates, you will find a lot of provision that refers to the IP rights. And what also is important that you can, as solution providers, make side agreement with change owners to manage the IP rights to the final solution. So it's up to how we would like to organize this.
Okay, good. Now I'm coming to the last, and sorry for all the participants whose their question is not answered, then please write them to Ursula.
Yes.
And Ursula will spread it. So, last question for Amadix. So, will you provide a small data set representing the different data formats, for example, PDF, text, and the labels, the corresponding ICD codes?
Well, I don't know if I can. I need to check with the legal department of the company, but I would suggest to write an email to me. You can find me on the AI4EU platform, and so the data is very sensitive in its nature. So I don't know if we can share the data, but I will check with the company, and I can get back to you.
Thank you. Yes. So, as I say, there are more questions than time, and I want to thank you, everybody, for being here. We will stop this now. I got several questions which I can only summarize in, yes, there will be a recording on YouTube if the speakers allow it in some days. And also there will be the slides from Ursula. She will send it to me. You can either ask Ursula directly or me. Everybody has my email because I invite you to this cafe, so just use it. And you will also get an email after this wonderful cafe, and there you see the links in it. So you will get it automatically, everybody. Thank you, everybody, and I wish all you participants who will write solutions and applications good luck. So we need a lot of applications and a lot of good solution providers. So Ursula, last word maybe, and everybody.
Thank you so much. And we are inviting you to submit your solution. The deadline is April 29. So please apply with your ideas.
Great. Yes, and thank you to all the speakers and guest speakers. And have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Carmen.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.